Hi, Don't Do This Week's Challenge Rift 37 here, and today I'm gonna do a practice run of 1 to 70 on my monk, similar to how I'll do it on Friday. These won't be like the world's fastest strats or anything, but it's just kind of reliable what I usually do. I actually had some practice runs yesterday where I died on the way, so I think I'm gonna spend a little extra time buying armor, and that should make it safe. But I've also had many runs where I had no issues at all with survivability. It's mostly because Exploding Palm is amazing, and so you're able to bump the difficulty up if you want to, and that's kind of what led to some of my deaths. So just be aware. All right, it's 1:37 p.m. Nice. I don't have a timer going, but you can kind of go off of that to gauge how long this is taking me overall, or the length of the video, but there may be cuts in it, so that would be a better judge. I'm going to try and do this all in one session. So we get a pet, we get a follower, steal their stuff. I like to steal their shield as well in case I find a one-hander somewhere early on, that it doesn't just automatically go to my other hand. I'll do one more game check to see if I can get Zoltan Cooler Magda. Otherwise, I might just start massacring right away. This just gives you a nice little boost of gear at the beginning, and it's really easy to do. Oh, wow, I didn't get him. There's about a 50-50 chance, since there's 4 bosses there, of logging in and there being either Cool or Magda, and there just wasn't twice in a row, so I'm like, yep, not meant to be. Meant to have my sound up. So we're already level 2 at this rate. It should just take like 69 times that long and we'll be at 70, right? That's how that works. So I'm not great at massacre bonusing, particularly on the monk, but I really feel like as long as you're killing fast, you're going to get XP fast, and the massacre bonuses are just a bonus. So even getting 15 kills is a lot more XP than you'd be getting in a rift. And so many of the bonuses are packed into the first, say, 100 kills. I think even 50, 75, and 100 are all different tiers. So like right there, I got 2 times. I think 400 is when you get to 4 times. So between, I think that was like 40 something kills. Between 40 and 400, it only doubles again. So really, if you only got to 40 every time, you'd be getting basically half the reward if you just did 40 10 times instead of 400 in one go, which it's way easier to get 40 10 times, and you're still getting half the reward. Twice as much as you'd be getting killing that stuff in a regular rift. Assuming that there's not like some wonky Diablo mechanics where the multipliers aren't real, but yeah, that's just kind of my thinking on it is I don't stress it if I break the multipliers. And I've gone in a circle. I don't know if I could keep this streak going. I've already... Oh no, I went down around the other way. I was like, I've already been here. Why are there so many enemies? I'm not complaining, but it's just surprising. So we're using Lashing Tail Kick right now. A lot of generator action, actually, because, I mean, we'd be out of spirit if we didn't. Didn't get a 37 kill streak. 38 feels bad, man. Ooh, Rax actually could have a upgrade. Your generator, your default one, Fist of Thunder, actually has a little teleport to it, but you kind of stop for a bit before you do it, so I'm not sure if it actually helps maintain the streak, but I like to think of it as a little teleport in that case. Like, I'll stop. If my streak is running out, I'll just try and teleport via the generator if I can. It's pretty short range, though. Dashing Strike is a lot more effective when you get that. So as for the cube, probably I'm just going to wait until I get Dashing Strike, Exploding Palm, Cyclone Strike. Probably like level 15 or so, and then I'm going to run for it. Oh, wow. This is a weird setup. I think I'm just going to leave. So like down here, there's probably still about a third to half of this Halls of Agony. But it's a long ways to run, and it might only be like a small third of it. One thing that I like to do is craft a lot of weapons. And I'm going to start off with a blue axe that I can equip at level 8. And then I'm going to go a two-handed swords next, because the lowest two-handed yellow you can get is a 15 sword. And by 15, this axe is not very good anymore. So, like, I don't want to wait all the way to 16. So I'm just going to do swords for a few. I meant to craft 2 of those. Let's see if this one was good. It's not, so yeah. I always try and craft 2 because there's a very good chance that at least one of them will have main stats on it. And yeah. So that gets us through level 27. So apart from that giant gap between like level 1 and 8 and then 8 and 15, we pretty much have all the damage we could possibly need for hard or eventually master just from these crafted weapons. But toughness does not keep up, especially if you're massacre bonusing in a place that doesn't have a ton of chests to find loot. Just gonna drop that streak, I'm sure. So at level 6 and 7, you get the first runes of your left click and right click in my case. And those are both good ones. They're kind of the last runes I ever take. Fists of Thunder, I believe, turns a little more AoE, and then Lashing Tail Kick gets a damage over time element to it. And it also encircles you, so like right now it'd be really handy to have that rune. But the damage over time is nice because you could almost kill something and be walking towards the next pole, and then have it die and keep your massacre going even longer. If you're comfortable walking away from something before it's actually dead, that is. So here I'm going to try and teleport. Got it. Although I probably could have just walked over in the same and still kept the streak going. So that's good to know. These guys hurt a lot. If you're ever squishy, stay away from Dark Berserkers. But it didn't hurt me much at all, which means I'm still tanky for the tier, which is good. 69 kill streak. I'm going to try and pull these guys down so maybe I can move on to the next pole. Nice, they can teleport. And we made it. Another thing you could watch out for is when you're about to level. Like, I could have killed this guy easily with that level up bonus, like explosion. But I was more worried about keeping the streak going in that case. So hopefully this kill streak will get me a level 7 and I can get the better Lashing Tail Kick. Uh-oh. Got a little break. Ah, so close. I think I'll just grab it and go. Oh, 23 kills though. Don't want to lose that for no reason. Vulture Claw Kick. These guys are good XP, but a little dangerous, but if Dark Berserkers aren't killing me, then they won't. But there's a cursed chest that can spawn like 8 of these guys, and that can be dangerous if you're a little low on toughness. Alright, rune it up. I believe it's level 7 to 9 or 7 and 10 or something like that. You can get rings and amulets at the vendors. I usually wait until 10 and just grab them both at the same time if I can. Oh, I don't even have a streak going to try and maintain. Standing in fire is a bad idea. Oh wow, that looks like it could be a dead end. Yep, that's the butcher. Check. Okay. Sometimes when I start my streaming software, it doesn't recognize the microphone, and so if I'm gonna stream, I always double check that. Well, almost always double check that. But I just realized I never did for this recording, so that might have to start over. A lot of giant gaps this run. Not a lot of opportunity to keep it going, keep the streak going. But if I get to level 8, then I can equip that axe I crafted for like double damage. Ooh, shoes. It's not just for shoes. Wait, what? I didn't pick them up. I still don't have a streak, so nothing to lose. Oh, wow, this is a bad setup. It would have been very hard to try and keep a streak going with this layout. I tried a little bit of Temple of Firstborn leveling today. I feel like I'm just going to stick with Halls of Agony 3 because I know it better. I'm starting to think that if you have a really good knowledge of the mobs and layout of a zone, you can probably just do well in a lot of places. I used to always favor Eternal Woods as well. But now that I haven't played Eternal Woods for a while, sometimes I go back there and it's just like crazy difficult. This looks like a good layout. So one downside to crafting a whole bunch of weapons ahead of time is that if you do decide to like go run a rift or something, find a rainbow goblin maybe, you gotta be a lot more careful when you go and salvage stuff because you don't want to salvage your crafted weapons or you just wasted a bunch of mats. I definitely could maintain the streak going that way, but I want to try going this way instead. Actually, let's go to the bottom of the room. We probably skipped half the skellies and such. Ooh, we got a chest. Chest armor sounds good. Chest armor out of a chest. Uh-oh. Kind of dragging things away from the way that we will be going. Oh, no. Okay. Just gonna throw it on right now. Boom. Plus 162 damage. Percent. Can we maintain it? Oh, well. We got to a new breakpoint. 75 kills, 2.7 times multiplier. So now we should, like, one-shot everything with Lashing Tail Kick. Let's see. Yeah, he didn't even get a chance to dot. So sometimes what you can do in rooms like this is just like use your generator for a while, assuming you're tanky enough. And a lot of this stuff is aggressive melee mobs, so they'll just run to you. So you just like wait, and then that way you can actually have a decent amount of spirit. Because if you just kind of do like rotations that you would do on a normal build in normal game after 70, you'll run out of spirit all the time. You have to do a lot of generating per spender. So sometimes it makes more sense to just wait for things to gather and then use your spender. Oh wow, we got to 75 exactly twice in a row. That's weird. Oh, we got Dashing Strike. Nice. Kind of scouting. Waiting. Tail kick. So from this point on, it's easier to keep the streaks going, but obviously there's still limits. It's like a 8-second cooldown on Dashing Strike. Might have a few percent of cooldown reduction on random pieces of gear, but not likely. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these boots instead of keeping the streak. And wow, there wasn't anywhere to go. So I got 2 of the best rooms possible, but I keep getting weird layouts like that. Just go way into a dead end and no chance to keep the streak going. So basically, once we equipped that two-handed axe, we probably were master damage capable, but I wouldn't try it toughness-wise. Because right now I can quickly kill most things with just my generator if I don't have any spirit or something like that. So if I were surprise surrounded, I would still be fine. I could just punch my way out through the weak stuff and walk out. But if I was on Master, that wouldn't be the case. I would need to have Spender or Dashing Strike at my disposal. Okay, I'm going to try and actually let these Transformers transform while taking on the other trash around. Oh, and there's an Elite. This should be a good time to gain Massacre bonus. Lots of high value stuff to multiply. Like, this Elite is pretty much melting. But if I was on Master, it would be a much different story. Zombies? Hello? Took them a while. So like I was saying at the very introduction, don't do this week's challenge rift until Friday, because if you do it early, then you can't use the cash on the season. It's a weird system. I personally think it would be great if challenge rifts didn't show up, like they got refreshed at the same time as season starts on regions, because they always start at the same time, or they're supposed to anyway. So why not just line those two things up? Well, the only downside to that would be if they actually had a bugged one, which they've had a few times in the past, then there'd be no way of knowing that ahead of time or fixing it ahead of time. So some regions would be in big trouble if that ever were to happen. Not that long term it's an issue at all. Like, I could probably do this 1 to 70 in an hour longer, maybe 2 hours longer without the challenge rift. And I would save a few minutes by not doing the challenge rift. But it just feels so much worse. 1 to 70 in 2 hours still feels like a really long time. 4 hours is just crazy long. And then obviously there's people who take longer than that, and I'm sure they would rather not take any longer than it needs to as well. Alright, we're level 11. I'm not sure if I've been to town since level 10, but let's check out vendors. I'm going to skip Act 1 just in case it was lower. Alright, no wounding. I'm going to take this as a backup. If I find rings of wounding, I don't go out of my way to make sure that I have both things. So I'm just going to look for giant chunks of vitality up. So I got like a 25% toughness, and then I didn't even have a belt. So that should make me pretty good for a while on toughness. Go to the fence in every act looking for rings. Bear. Do. Wounding. That's what we want. So I can insta-salvage whites and blues. I won't do it on yellows just because all the crafted stuff. So I think I'll do one more run of HoA 3 and then probably go for the cube. So for there's a bunch of things I just think there's no reason to do them on high difficulty. One is going for the cube. I know that's, like I was saying about there being multiple zones that are all pretty good for leveling. There's people who do really fantastic massacre bonuses in Ruins of Session, or at least in the second half of it. So if you want to, you can go on hard or master or whatever is comfortable for you, and just keep massacring on your way to the cube and do well. I want to do all of my leveling here basically. So if I want to do a rift to gain some more gear, I'm going to just do it on normal. If I want to do bounties, I'm just going to do it on normal. If I'm going to go for the cube, I'm just going to do it on normal. So that makes all of those activities the fastest they can possibly be. No risk of dying, theoretically. And then when I want to actually gain XP, I come back here, very powerfully kill things on high difficulty, and try and keep massacre bonuses going and get the XP that way. So the only place I ever raise the difficulty, I feel like, other than the initial boss fight, where if I might try Magda on Master a few times, but right now I'm like, I could do cool on Master easy. I don't know about Magda. But if I'm comfortable with both, then I'll just start on Master. Right now I'm thinking I'll just stick with hard. The bright side about sticking with hard is that you don't have to leave the game afterwards. You can just kill the boss and then go here and start massacring. On softcore, I would probably still just do it that way, but on Master. Like, come here on Master initially, and as things start taking too long to kill, you can just click lower difficulty while you're mid Halls of Agony. But on hardcore, they actually don't let you change difficulty in game. So yeah, I love Zombie Pit because these guys are good XP. Oh dear. Nice. Stay out of the fire pit. I'll do that. Level 13, that sounds like Exploding Palm territory. Which I don't really have any use for on hard. But if I see an elite, it'll die a lot faster with Exploding Palm. I actually don't want that. Don't think I want to clutter my inventory with stuff to salvage like that. Unless it's right there. Go, 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 go! No, too long of a cooldown. So, Exploding Palm is almost a 3,000% explosion. And it's really easy to do. So it's just like, all of a sudden your monk has a skill that does 3,000%, no big deal. This is as good of a time as any to go for the cube. Who needs Cyclone Strike for such thing? The obvious downside to Exploding Palm is that if you only have like a Rift Guardian to fight at the end of a Rift floor, it's not going to do anything. You need ads. Which is pretty easy in a regular Rift. Wait. We're not doing that. We're going for the cube. Had a pretty bad cold last week and voice still isn't up to talking forever. So we can use some Exploding Palm here. Actually, Cyclone Strike would have helped a lot. I am not feeling comfortable with this, even on normal. So that happens sometimes. You think you can go do something, but then you have to retreat. At level 15, like, if one of these had Vitality, that'd be nice, but just having the triple damage of that sword would be really nice too. That's why I wanted to wait for level 15. Still don't want to do HoA 3 on normal. It's too low of a difficulty. Another thing I was thinking about was if we get 75% XP bonus on hard and 200 on master, that means master is less than twice as good as hard. So keep that in mind if you're killing quite a bit slower on master, that maybe still hard is your best bet. Because you're going from 175 to 300 basically. wait for those guys. Generally, I don't wait for transformers, but there were a bunch of them right by a bunch of other stuff. I kind of regret waiting. Now we got Cyclone Strike. So this is an amazing combo where you can just Exploding Palm one small enemy anywhere and then pull them into the center and everything around you dies. So that's pretty much what we'll be doing all the way to 70. It'll be a lot easier later when we have some resource management skills. Speaking of, passives. At level 10, if you want, you can equip fleet-footed or whatever's the 10% movement speed, but I don't find that valuable. So at 13 for sure, I equip Exalted Soul because more spirit is way better than not having more spirit. But an extra 10% movement speed is a pretty small deal. Another thing I like to do, but I forgot, is to move my skills around. Usually I like to Exploding Palm on 3, Cyclone Strike on 1. Wow, that one-hander is a big upgrade. That's how bad waiting like 8 levels on the same piece of gear is. Well, swords. Swap. Rune. And go. Oh. As far as I know, the third skill that the Templar can get, level 15, both of them do some crowd control, so I just never pick it. That way when I'm pushing, I can have the option to just have a non-crowd controlling Templar entirely and do all of it my own. No! Thought I could grab all that and hold the streak. That's one big fault I think I have, is thinking that I can look at every single piece of gear without losing time, but I probably waste quite a bit of time by doing it. So now with all the damage I have, especially since I'm still on just hard, a lot of things are probably just dying to the bleeds from Exploding Palm. If you're pushing Yuliana's, you pick the Cold Rune, which doesn't do any damage until the explosion. But the default in every single other rune does. It does a big bleed, but it takes 9 seconds for it to do the whole thing. Might as well do this bounty while I'm here. Hopefully, yep, adds. So just dot. Boom. He's almost dead. Usually in the past I would go do Act 1 bounties, or it could be any act, but I usually just picked Act 1 to try and get Kane's Borns, or theoretically other craftable stuff that I could use on the way to 70. Now I'm not really feeling it. It's not that big of an XP boost. Like, half the reason I liked it was just to have guaranteed legendary items at that point. But eventually, like 10, 20 levels later, whatever, those items are way worse stats than other things you're picking up, and it's like a huge risk to your survivability just to keep them equipped. That's why usually when I get to whatever the level 70 weapon is, I'll drop the Canes and Borns. In this case, I'm just not planning on going for a medal. So, I think we have plenty of damage for Master, but we don't have the toughness. So whatever level I get to on this run, nope. Looks like it'll probably be 17. I'm gonna go buy some gear at the vendors. Oh, for shoulders. Looking for big toughness ups. Int. That wasn't even that big. Oh, movement speed too. That's a good combo. So right now, I just passed the amount of dex in vitality. And that's usually where I want to be, is having just like the same amount or more vitality than dex. So this will push it a little bit more in the vitality range. Oh no, I was going to turn it up to master. Rip. And it should be approximately every 4 levels a new sword is available, so I'm already only 2 levels, or like 1.5 level maybe, away from a level 19 sword. I think those ones might have had better stats. Nope. Well, this one has a main stat, so anything that has a main stat is like godly compared to not. So yeah, these both have vitality and they're like 50% more toughness at level 23. But the one with dex is basically 50% more damage than the one that doesn't have dex. Alright, so right into the fire we go. That was a little too much damage. We didn't want to take that much. And things are no longer dying to one exploding palm if they're an elite. That's where we're at with that. Finally got to the health pool. I want to keep this kill streak going if I can. These guys are being jerks though. Alright. So that was probably the hardest thing we're going to face on this run. Like on this particular floor. Is just at the door, bunch of thralls. We have plenty of damage to survive just being surrounded by Hellions and such. And we have plenty of toughness for that. And we have plenty of damage to kill any amount of Dark Berserkers as long as we have a skeleton nearby, which is very likely. A skeleton or a Hellion. Anything for exploding palm fodder. So yeah, the downside to exploding palm is you have to kill something. Well, that's not really a problem here, because there's just so many weak things. Oh, that's that. Tiny bit more damage, a bit more damage. Cyclone Strike and Dashing Strike. You wouldn't know it in late game, but they actually deal damage. So sometimes when you have an overpowered enough weapon, you can actually like start selling bleeding. Also, Exploding Palm's Bleed does damage. And then like dash through it and finish it off with a dash. Or Cyclone Strikes up together and then that's when the explosion happens. Alright, our second test. Whenever there's an elite, I try an Exploding Palm a lot more than just one enemy. That way one Exploding Palm goes off, and then that makes another one go off. Because otherwise you just kill all the weak trash in the first hit, and then nothing else can... You have nothing else to kill the elite with. I'll take that. Finally have a good chunk of vitality boost from a weapon. Actually, this will be pretty comparable. Yeah, it's still quite a bit worse than the level 23 rare. That's funny. That's why a lot of times you'll find like a one-hander legendary leveling, and it's just worse than a two-hander legendary you already, or non-legendary that you already have. What kind of stats did this have even? Dex and Vit, and it's still not that good. That's kind of crazy. Dex and Vit usually means GG. Put him on. We also have a new passive available. Seize the initiative. Quite nice for a lot faster generator usage. Ah, shoot. We're not going to make it to 100, barely. I think that was most... Yeah, that was definitely most of that floor. Rune. No rune. Rune. Start at 137. About 35 minutes. There's some small bodies. Oh no! Just gonna waypoint back. Oh no. Do the long swing. Hey, he missed. Helms? I don't remember. I guess I never looked at him. There's a blue pack. Let's clear out some of the dangerous trash. Didn't take long. I don't want to kill all the trash and then try and fight the blue pack without trash, because that wouldn't go well. This should, though. And these guys could be exploding palm fodder on their own now. They're so low. Alright. Got the streak still going. Let's try and do... Oh no! I dropped it. And boom. Oh, we'll check out what's in the chest. Ooh, a ruby. I don't even have sockets yet. Looks like down is a dead end. Up is a long ways to the butcher, so that's the way I want to go. Spirit's actually maintaining pretty well. I'm doing a lot of generators. Nope. 24. Is that a new skill something or other? It's funny that there's Hands of Lightning as a skill. That's not on Fist of Thunder. Ah, Mantra rune. I'm tempted to take that right now just for the extra toughness. Alright. Kind of crappy streak situation going over here, but we should be able to get like 50 to 100 just on this room. Stay out of the fire. Trigger those zombies. If all you got left are... Ooh, that was very almost a death. If all you have left are zombies, sometimes like you can just find a torso to exploding palm and they die fast. But as that very much illustrated, the zombie pit can also be a dangerous place because if they all start swinging at the same time, they hit hard. Almost demonstrate again. Okay, let's just yeah, get that level up heal planned. So obviously I should have gone back to town and gotten more gear at some point. Got new swords, so all I have left are the two 27 swords, so I'm just going to throw them on the ground so I can salvage. Ah, that was some upgrades. That would have helped. Let's get some other gear. What was I doing? Guess sell these. Looking for the big toughness ups. That is a big toughness up if I ever get diamonds. I will check these other two vendors as well. Whoa. Lose the movement speed. I'm okay with that. So it looks like by the time I've checked two vendors, there's probably not really going to be anything worth checking out the third. So now I have like 50% more vitality than Dex. Oh, you know what? I'm going to actually drop Lashing Tail Kick. At level 21, I like swapping it to Sweeping Wind. This saves me on resource. But also Strong Spirit's up now, so if you somehow had Rivera Dancers already, you could either gamble them or maybe you could find them by now. Then definitely stick with Lashing Tail Kick all the way to 70. But otherwise, I kind of just like the steady, constant damage of Sweeping Wind without being an extra spender, because spending with just your Exploding Palm and Cyclone Strike is already plenty. If you can be like Exploding Palm, Cyclone Strike, Exploding Palm, Cyclone Strike, and not even have to do any other skills, that's great. So Strong Spirit makes it so every time the explosion happens, anything that was caught in the explosion returns spirit to you. So in these scenarios, that can be a lot of spirit coming back. Make it pretty easy to keep capped on it. My Sweeping Wind is like wrecking these guys. The thing about Sweeping Wind is it refreshes automatically if you're attacking things. So if you ever have a big gap, like where you're going to lose your streak, your Massacre bonus, then you should hit Sweeping Wind to keep you at 3 stacks. Because it can take a long time to actually get to 3. So like right here, I refreshed it. Does cost spirit to refresh it though, so don't just numlock it or spam it constantly or you're going to have a bad time. So that was just a run through on Master. That was like easiest thing in the world. I'm going to go back in there. It looked like I had places I could still go. Now since I don't... Now that I'm not using a spender on my right click, and one of my spenders is returning spirit, I might consider dropping that passive that was spirit based. I didn't in the past runs, but I'm thinking about it now. If there's a passive that would give me more toughness, that might be more worthy of my choice. Because I've done like everything up to this point with like needing way more spirit than I need right now. I don't know what Ring of Invasion is, but it's probably not worth going back for. This is dangerous. Danger-esque. Ooh. I'll take all that trash. At least one of the blues is down. Got it. Huh. Weird route. Whoa. That's weird. But just something I found was way better than why I crafted. 27. Guess I didn't craft to 27. Let's go axes the rest of the way. 29. I don't know how much of this damage actually is non-physical. Is the only reason I don't think I really want to do that one. Could do resolve. A lot of the stuff that hurts me a lot is enemies I've damaged recently. Especially with Cyclone Strike. Actually, I forgot I don't have Lashing Tail Kick anymore. I was trying to do the usual rotation. Ooh, doors open so much easier with the Sweeping Wind too. That's a nice bonus. I wanted to hit something else. There we go. Oh well. One more level and we get a better weapon. I didn't actually look at the stats, but I assume they're better. Yeah, just no legendary powers, just destroying on master. So if I do get Caesar's Memento or Pinto's Pride, I basically level the exact same way. I just, instead of Lashing Tail Kick or Sweeping Wind, I probably swap to those when they get good runes or like other things accommodate. So like, I wouldn't use Pinto's Pride unless I have Explosive Light, which I think is level 25. You get that Rune of Wave of Light. Because it's just too expensive as a skill. 75 spirit per cast. It's not worth it. Even if it's twice or 2.5 times as strong as normal. It's getting spicy. I'm gonna hit my mantra even. Bonus toughness. 'Cause I can. Looks like we'll make it to 100. Another passive. Definitely don't want to be on the fire grades at this difficulty. I feel like things are hurting me more, but I just kill them so fast they don't really get a chance to. I'm sure I can get a Sweeping Wind rune as well. I prefer the one that is the blades, because it's the most powerful, but I think the first one you can get is the one that freezes things occasionally, which wouldn't be bad either. Remembering that I almost died here last time. And go. Alright, let's move. A yellow armor. And a belt. Big gains. I think I threw on Strong Spirit, but I didn't throw on Implosion. Cyclone Strike Rune, yeah. I definitely have the Spirit that I could handle. Paying 50 again for Cyclone Strike. And it's a much larger area. Which is good synergy for the explosions. Ah, man. Definitely don't want to fight just a blue pack with no trash around it. Divine Protection is almost a cheat death, but not quite. I like to take Quickening when I get there. Just faster Spirit back. Master of Wind. Axes. Ooh. That's awkward. Even without the socket filled, it's just way better than the other one. Did I just lose toughness? That's not cool. I'm gonna check one vendor quick. Yeah, I'm back ahead on my like dex to vit ratio. I have more dex than vit. In fact, I think I'm gonna do what the original plan was to do every 15 levels or so. And this is basically gonna put me no closer to 70, but I'm just gonna do a run of a rift. And that's gonna give me a lot better gear in general. Throw these guys down so I can salvage easy. I'm just gonna do it on normal. The gear that drops is still fine. It'll still fill my inventory by the end likely. And it's of the appropriate level, and the idea is that I can kill things very easily on normal. Get to take a little break from the kill streaks. Oh, I never went for the cube. Well, I'll remember to go for the cube if I get Gungo gear or something like that early. Oh, actually right after this would be a good time to go for it as well. Because I'll have the best toughness I'm going to have for a while. And, you know, I've got nice weapons as well. So yeah, maybe right after this rift, if I remember, I'll go for the cube. Just as part of the simulation. Shield pylon, very nice. Ooh. Executioner. Alright, I don't have any kill streak to keep going forward. Let's see what this is. I wish I could check out all the rest of the gear right now. Huge ups. Good. I guess that's the only thing is I dropped my swimming wind stacks. Oh no. Ring of Invasion. I skipped one of those earlier. It's strength. Psh. I think I just Cyclone Strike killed those guys. If I could actually move fast, I'd be speed running. So this probably pretty obvious to most people, but I feel like I didn't really know about it until maybe 5 seasons ago or so. If you've hovered over your items, then they won't have a special border around them, but the new ones will. So like right now, if I find 5 more items and go to my inventory, I've already looked at almost all these, but there's 2 that are highlighted. Now there are 3. And so those are the only ones I actually have to look at if I want to just look at the new items that I've dropped. So that can help save time so that you're not like looking over every single item. If you look at your inventory frequently, you can just look at the new items that way by looking for that border. Nice. Sweeping Wind Belt. Doesn't that give a whole bunch of sweeping wind damage now? Ooh, my sweeping wind is OP. So I know I'm simulating no luck at Kadala, but I didn't say anything about no luck from drops. Just 107%, darn. Oh well, now I don't have to worry about maintaining it, which is nice. It is still possible for it to go down, but not in the playstyle I'm using. So, like, I'm trying to think, because you only would have used it with Wave of Light in the past, right? Why? Because the situation is, if you're not attacking, but you have enemies by you, so like right now, it's going down. But if you ever attack, you refresh it, and if there's not enemies by you, it refreshes itself. So yeah, there must have been situations where I was just like running through enemies, and so it was not being refreshed. I'll take a ruby though, because I don't have a helm slot anymore. So I think after these guys, rather than juggling my inventory, I'm just gonna go back to town and salvage everything. Enchantress focus. Ooh, that's a good point though. Give the Templar some stuffs. That'll do. So many purchased items. I probably should sell these just to get the money back. Can't be bothered. Sweeping Wind Belt is a pretty good find, though. I can't Exploding Palm this guy because everything I walk towards to Exploding Palm dies before I can. So yeah, I think the Sweeping Wind will just wreck Orlash TBH. I will try it. Nope. Alright, gear. More toughness. Hey, we got some diamond. 1 diamond. Every time I freaking get stuff to throw into sockets, I lose the sockets. Actually, forgot about the weapon socket. I was just thinking about the helm socket. So, salvage that stuff. Pick my weapons back up. I'll take it back to... I was gonna go for the cube. Whoops. Perfect simulation of opening night, because I'm going to be doing stuff like this on opening night as well. Accidentally going back to menu when I still had something to do. At level 35, I know I want to take Beacon just for all the extra dashes. Not much. I guess I'll take this back up. Maybe fleet-footed, just for the heck of it. I feel like 20% better cooldown is going to be better for my moving around speed than 10% movement speed is when I'm trying to massacre bonus. So I don't know if there's like perfect ways to get through here where it's like, oh, I see this tile, it's definitely this version. I just hug a wall, and if it feels like, oh, okay, this probably isn't in the way, then I turn around. So this is so much easier than last time I tried to go in here. Same difficulty too, like, I feel like that was the low 20. No, it was below 15. It was like level 13 or something. Walk into Ruins of Session was just getting destroyed. I think it's gotta be this way. There's just been too much extension in this direction. I'm not really trying to keep massacres or anything, because it's only on normal. The goal is just to get to that cube ASAP. Over and then back down, maybe? But there's so much stuff here! Nice. That was about as direct route as I could have taken. Then here I always go down a ways and over basically, I'm probably just gonna go as far as I can. Because anytime I try and turn up, then there's a dead end. I have to turn back down, and I go over further, and I turn up, and then there's a dead end, and I have to go back down. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go all the way over and then up. And if I have to backtrack from there, that's fine. Fleeting Shrine. Yeah, with these rat collars or rat kings or whatever they are, you can get so many stacks here if you're trying. But I'm just gonna save all the massacres for Halls of Agony. So that was probably one of my best runs to Seshron ever. I totally don't mind the fact that I went back to menu unnecessarily one time. Got the cube. I haven't used the cube for anything, like I haven't extracted power or anything. It's level 33, hard, the mantra cheat death. That might be worth stopping this kill streak to grab. Divine Protection. So things are now hitting me a little bit harder. But if I get below a certain amount of HP, I get healed. Once every 90 seconds. This does mean that you can get one shot killed though without it going off. I feel like I've got enough toughness that ain't gonna happen. Rip. Right now, I definitely would be better suited for Torment than Master. So I'm not gonna fall into that trap. If I was on Softcore, I would totally go to Torment 1. I don't think Torment 2 would be good. I think then things would die too slowly. But right now I just barely have a chance to even vacuum in anything. Even Dark Berserkers are dying super fast to Sweeping Wind. It's still worth it to throw out the Exploding Palms because they cost 40, and as long as they hit 3 other enemies with the explosion, then I get more back than I spent. I wasn't paying super close attention, but I feel like I used up a lot of that map, so it's probably not worth to go back in there. Leaving game and resetting really doesn't take that much time. I used to be like, oh, I want to hit 2 or 3 zones and a rift before I leave game. Nah. Just leave game, go back to your favorite zone, just keep repeating that as long as you can stand it, like you don't get bored of that. super efficient. Are these new? Nope. I haven't had new ring in a while. Nice, big gains. Ah, no teleports. Nice. Well, we're gonna run into a dead end, but we can probably get 50 plus kills before then. Nice. It's probably worth it on goblins to hit them with the goblin themselves with an exploding palm, because that is 1200% damage. Like, that's more than a lashing tail kick. That's more than a wave of light. Over 9 seconds. So there's no reason to like spam them with exploding palm, but like if you hit them with one, that's like 2 regular attacks of a spender that you just get for free over time. Rising Tide is another good one for getting a lot more spirit back out of a generator. It's kind of based on AoE though. The more enemies you hit, the more you get back. I'm just going to stick with my one that has a very crappy teleport instead. If you get Caesar's Memento, if you gamble bracers from Kadala level 1, Fist of Thunder's first rune is very good for proccing that. It's like the easiest freeze/stun to get. And Caesar's does last for a few seconds after the freezer's done, so you don't have to like, oh crap, I gotta try and kill him in 1 or 2 seconds or whatever. You got a little while. I was also recently surprised to see how early you get Flurry as a rune of Tempest Rush itself. 37! Blade Storm is up. It's been up for a while, I guess. It does grant you a shield. Oh, it doesn't say anything about actually healing you, just granting you a shield. Interesting. $37, I believe, is an axe level. Oh, I had to roll 7%, not like 10. I feel like that's worth more than 7% executing. And now I can just salvage everything. Gonna do now is go for a weapon. I'm just gonna go back to two-handed sword. I like to craft 6 at a time. And then check if we get life per hit and a secondary CC. Wow, I didn't try another 3. This would probably be about all my mats, but you can then take these things and go and convert them at the cube. So go over here and be like, well, I still have a few hundred white mats. Convert reusable parts. Then I got more. So that's a good strat if you're low. Because basically, like, I can't, as long as you have the secondary chance to chill, chance to blind, chance to fear, you got a chance to, you know, get level reduction in a timely manner. But it's so much better if you also have life per hit. So I'm going to try a couple more swords. Oh my god, none of them. This is the worst luck I've had with that. So this is what that kind of luck is like. And maybe this one will just one-shot it. But actually, I should look for a better one since I'm stuck with this. Dex and Vid is way better than 7% damage. So we'll roll off the XP. Can get up to 30 level reduction. I feel like it's about 1 in 5 chance of actually rolling level reduction at all, and then there's a big range of them. So now it's over 100k per roll, so that's probably like better move on to the next one, because otherwise it's just eat your money way too fast. Okay, that one's got Dex and Vit. And it's more like 1 in 2 chance if you actually have the life per hit, because life per kill no longer shows up. That was 100k per roll. Oh! You! Alright, so this is why I probably would have had the materials to get to this and to have rolled those like 14 times or whatever I rolled. So this is what I would go with in an actual season. It's what I'll test with. But just for the sake of like, this feels extremely unlucky, I'm going to craft another 20. And let's see how many of them are the kind of swords I normally look for. So, nope. That one just came with 13 level reduction. That one came with some as well. This one. So I'd have 1 out of those 11. Wow. So out of all the swords I've crafted, I only got 1 that was everything I want. I don't need the socket or the dex necessarily, but the immobilize and life per hit, huge. This is how often it rolls level reduction now. So didn't, did, didn't, didn't, did, didn't, did, did, didn't. So about half and half, I think. At first it was like more didn'ts than dids, then it caught up, then it passed, and yeah. Looks like about 50-50. Gonna grab this guy to use at level 41. Oh, shoot. Beacon of Etar I could throw on now. Not maintaining my streak because it's the Exploding Palm isn't blowing stuff up to restore my spirit. So another thing you can do is stop Cyclone striking if you're having troubles with spirit because your other stuff is killing things too easily. You can just let stuff gather on their own. 50 is quite a bit. So 20% quicker dashing strike cooldown does get me around faster, but more importantly, it means if I screw up and get into a bad situation with dashing strike on cooldown, it's 20% less time before I can GTFO. I believe you can explode illusions. Well, they're all dying to Sweeping Wind too fast to do it, but it's a handy way to kill illusionist elites, as I believe I found out on one of my earlier leveling experiences. Unless I was like misreading something. No! Darn. I could almost just like vacuum everything in and just let Sweeping Wind kill him every time. That would be nice to have. So I keep finding socketed stuff, but no gems. So there I hit him with a attack. It's going to do 1200% weapon damage over time. Nice. This is probably better. Well, it would be definitely be more damage if I threw an emerald in it. I'm going to throw a diamond in for more toughness. All res doesn't mean just like elemental res, remember. Physical is one of the resistances. So diamonds actually protect against like zombies and stuff as well. I am not gonna go fight the butcher. Wait. Oh yeah, I'm not the level 41 yet. 1.5 more levels though. So when you get your level 70 weapon, you have enough damage to do T6 at least for a bit, but I wouldn't recommend it on hardcore. On softcore, I like to go to T6, go into a rift, and let it trickle down maybe to T4 across the rift, but if you complete a rift then you'll already have it unlocked on that difficulty for the season journey to go run a GR20 later. Even though you're not level 70, it still counts it as far as unlocking tiers. That's why if somebody power levels you, you can just automatically go into T6 greater rifts. Ah, dropping it. I want to finish this guy off. No. Oh, that's not going to be cooled down in time. Reap. And they are gone. Going and getting all that armor was really worth it because this has been such smooth sailing toughness-wise. Famous last words. Alright, so between however much XP we get killing things and this massacre bonus, we might be level 70 weapon very soon. No! 20%. Basically. There it is. And almost 100% toughness. Thank you. And that was... Okay, yeah, it did come with vitality. I think I'm actually gonna try something different than normal. Hopefully it's not like deadly. And just keep it on master and wow, Halls of Agony, Rift, really? This isn't worth not having the sweeping wind belt. So I can like insta-kill everything. As long as they don't insta-kill me, I'm good. And this will give me a lot better gear than if I were to keep going straight into Halls of Agony. So this will give me a bunch of level 41 gear, really good gear. And then I'm going to pump it up to at least Torment. I'll probably try Torment too. This is very similar to when I was playing earlier on normal Rift. Nice. Stone gauntlets? What the? I can't use those. This place is cursed. Halls of Agony, which is where I've been running forever, and then Shrouded Moors, which is way worse. Yeah, this season I'll probably keep the stone gauntlets right away. I'll check the vendor really quick, but I don't expect to find anything too crazy good toughness-wise when I've got the baseline of 800 vitality and dex on my weapon. (1.5%). Cursed Bellows. Interesting. Got an elite, and they're dead. So, obviously we're still killing faster than we were killing on Master earlier. But I don't want to go any higher than this just because if I don't kill everything instantly, then it has a lot more chance to kill me. Cursed Bellows is an amazing cursed chest. It would be great to carry a streak to it, but that seems really unlikely with how fast I'm killing stuff just via like Sweeping Wind. Because there's really no enemies near it, so you have to like tag something for a really long period. Well, okay. I was worried about the Hulks, but I just insta Sweeping Winded them. Just don't have any way to get Spirit back, really. I guess that's one downside to Sweeping Wind. If I'm trying to do like really well here. Any other spender would have been a better choice. There we go. Just need to level up. I don't know if this keeps going this way. Seems like it shouldn't, but it might. Toughness? Yeah. This is so ridiculously powerful. Definitely could have gone T4. But at the same time, we just went from level 41 to 46. Not too much time. Got a little bit more halls. Oh, you know what? I should go with like Inner Storm Sweeping Wind if I have it. I don't remember what level it is. I could also go back to that resource-based passive. No. Nice. I got it recently. Yeah, it makes more sense than Resolve, probably. Oh no, all this stuff is pretty nice right now. Inner Storm might be enough. That's like a bunch of spirit per second I'm getting back. It's faster to teleport to town and then leave game than it is to just wait 10 seconds. Maybe not after I change my mind on it, but normally it is. So it'll be easier to do my normal rotation when I gain a few more levels. One strat that I've considered, but I'm probably not going to do, but I'm considering is just saving my blood shards. So instead of like trying to go buy stuff from the vendor or go run a rift, I can just look at some of my weakest slots and go gamble those slots. So if I just like every 10 or so levels gambled 4 slots, that would keep my toughness up pretty well, I would think. No. But the idea that I might gamble Gungo gear right away and have even better exploding palms, just like that, I can't turn that down. Just insta kill everything. I was like, isn't there a really big sweeping wind rune? I might be thinking of just if you're using Justice Set. Firestorm? Oh, Firestorm is bigger. Well, I do like having the extra resource, though. I swear that I made that, actually. All right. So this would be a situation where I could be like, oh, better stats, and opening chests / clicking armor racks and stuff hurts enemies, and I just cube the belt and keep going. So if I get a Dex Vit sword and I also feel like I'm really well covered on my armor, I think I'm going to go T4 on Friday. But by this point, by level 50, after a few rounds, it would make sense to drop it, I think. So I'm just going to T3 right now. I think level 58 is cheat death, as I'm now like taking damage again. Was it worth it going to T3? Probably not. I was just nice and comfortable on T2. Oh, the sweeping wind belt gave it sweeping wind damage. Cubing it doesn't do that. So yeah, I wouldn't cube it. I would have just kept wearing it, even though this one had a little better stats. And gets to do that haunting stuff, which is pretty cool. Just keep on a haunting. Seems a little dangerous, but I'm gonna grab it. Finally. Nope. I never want to fight just enemies, like elite enemies on their own. Didn't feel like a whole halls of agony. Oh yeah, that counts as haunt. Haunt the gob. Nice. Darn. Haunt. That doesn't count. $53 sounds meaningful. 58's a passive. Can't think of anything I'd rather be using other than maybe just like if I really felt like I needed more toughness. Blinding speed. Since I didn't lower the difficulty, I'm gonna go see if I can buy some more toughness. That's crazy that int and lightning resistance ends up being vitality just because there's like twice as much of it. Even better. Again, into null res this time though. Those kills are good for streaks. Another Cursed Bellows. This time things aren't dying so instantly though, which is bad for Hulks, but it'll work out. So basically Cyclone Strike is really good at interrupting attacks of most things. So if I pulled them to me and they weren't interrupted, I would probably take a ton of damage, but basically between the Cyclone Strike and punching whoever has Explosive Palm and the Explosive Palm themselves, the explosion goes off before the enemies get a chance to respawn. That was a little wonky. Ah! Very close to maintaining that. Alright, I'm just gonna see what was in these chests. It's looking like a scary path. Tenacious Sea. Don't run through fire. Looking very promising that way. Nope. Nice. One. Good job, chests. These chests are actually pretty good for maintaining the massacre bonus when you got the Sabor's Nightmare. Could theoretically be a homing way to know where the next enemy is too, because like they're one shot up to that hallway, so that should mean that there was an enemy over there if I was trying to keep the streak going. But that zone was pretty well tapped by now. I keep picking T3, but I want to drop it. Yuck. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to menu. Start at 137. So we're almost an hour and 40 minutes in. The last 10 levels go pretty slow, or at least like the last 5 do. But what's more terrifying is that the incoming damage goes way up after you get to level 61. Because that's like Reaper of Souls territory all of a sudden. The gear that you can find is a lot better, and that's part of the reason I'm kicking everything's butt is because I was able to craft something that was level 70. But you don't really want to, like, if you're doing okay in Torment in the 50s, you don't want to stay in Torment when you get into the 60s, at least not right away. You might go back to it after a bit. But I like to drop it down a bit when I get into the 60s. Probably go back to Master, because that's what I was doing for most of the leveling. Or you know what? At 61, I'll probably actually, you know, if you have blood shards saved, it's a good time to gear yourself out in good gear. I'll probably go do a rift instead. Well, screw you guys. Oh, near-death experience. Don't mind if I do. I always take cheat death over any toughness passive. You know, on like softcore. If there's one that gives you like 30% more toughness, another one that means you can die and nothing bad happens, I take the one that says you can die and nothing bad happens. Because then you can like run like heck if you proc, or you can just play safely after you proc, depending on the circumstance. Maybe you happen to find a shield pylon right after and all is forgiven. I can also actually pick up 35% toughness right now by swapping to agility. Actually, I'm not sure if it's right now, but Mantra of Salvation agility. 35% dodge, it's basically 35% toughness. Really nice. Get over here! That guy took forever. Well, there was my fake cheat death. I'm surprised it actually went off because they like, I thought it was like that big hit that caused it to happen. So it took me from over half health to no health. But maybe it only took me from over half down to here. That could be. So it didn't like stop me from dying. It stopped me from being low health and then taking more damage. But yeah, we have agility. Oh, nice. Well, I guess I shouldn't expect that to disappear. It'd be funny if it just like stayed locked in that position. Like, you don't get to pick another rune while you wait on me. But that's kind of, I thought you wouldn't be able to change it while I was still cooling down there. Should still be fine on T2. Oops. Nice. I am killing quite a bit slower. This would probably be a good time to go T1 even if I wasn't worried about toughness, just for offense sake. So I went from like, I can't even exploding palm things to I explode palm them, pull them in, and then wait another few seconds before the really weak things die. Which is bad once you're fighting these guys. And there's an actual proc. I'm gonna kill him just for spite. But yeah, go down to T1 at least. Try and keep that in mind for Friday. Can probably start on T4 if I'm good on toughness, but by the late 50s go to T1. And then maybe master when I pass 60. I think I said earlier, I don't really mind if I've cleared a zone, like just leaving game, entering new game to refresh the zone. But it does feel like a big waste if I go a ways in and I picked the wrong difficulty or something, so then I've got to then leave and then reset the game. Like, that was a big waste of time. Probably just wasted a minute because I didn't understand my own power. What a terrible thorn. Can't even equip it. What a jip. Take a diamond. I'll take a ring for sure. I don't have any sockets. Wait. Yeah, no. Shrine! So this will go a lot faster on Friday because anytime there's a random shrine like this, it's going to be like insta-killing stuff. Actually, quite a bit of this run I was pretty much insta-killing stuff on my own, so those parts wouldn't go faster, but other parts would. This has been one of my better kill streaks of the day. Didn't even really realize. No, I can't drop it below 200. Not when there's two enemies right there. Ah, that's that. 61. Oops. I'll go to the other half. I'm guessing the enemies in this zone are locked on to torment, or to like my lower level anyway. Maybe not though. Never really looked into how that actually works. These haunts are massive. Give me more chests. Another shrine. I can just walk away from these weaker things if I exploding palm them, because it just finishes them off. Oh, really? I thought that grabbing that chest would keep the streak going. Not gonna make it to 50. So 62, that should be high enough to lock in level 60 items, right? Let's see. We can buy stuff that's way better than what we currently have. That's a lot more toughness. That's a lot more toughness, and it's a blue item. way better. Probably should find all the items first and then equip them, rather than doing it for every single one at a time. Probably good to stay on Master all the way to 70 at this point, if not raise it because I find an item or something. But you don't really find items in here, that's the thing. That's why I go to the shop. No! Let me teleport. Oh, there were enemies right behind me. Nice. I found something to do while I waited. Good room coming up. Just threw out so many EPs. No, I'm missing the low health dudes. Death breath! So it begins. Wow. Helms for days. Maybe spirit stones. Nice. Nice. Wow, this stuff was way better than those blues I bought. And chest. Oops. Man, I just went like everywhere but where there were enemies. Oh, I wouldn't have been able to extend it much anyway. Yeah, this is worth staying because this has to wrap back up there, right? Alright, we're still under 2 hours. I'm guessing it'll just take a little bit over 2 hours, which isn't terrible, especially because I stopped and talked about some stuff when I was crafting. That was a few extra minutes taken. I remember I used to always be happy with like being to 70 and everything by like 11 p.m., 4 hours after season starts my time. I'm sure that was including bounties though, like I used to weed in some bounties as I was leveling. A full set of bounties certainly isn't going to take over an hour, though, even with crap setup. I'm just skipping those guys since they are not joining the party. Where to go next? Alright, let's... no! I was trying to just kill him with Cyclone Strike. Oh yeah, haunting. Please keep the streak going to this room. Oh yeah. This is gonna be big XP. Even if it's only on Master. Oops. Could have had some more zombies. Can't pull this. No. They died too fast. Nice. Not to 300, but pretty good streak. Wow. Still said 15% to switch back to the other one? I didn't think it was a 15% loss to switch to this one. Gotta double check that. Oh, no, it says 6%. That's weird. I thought I saw 15 a bit ago. Just trying to like go over in my head, make sure I did everything I'm supposed to, because I almost forgot to go for the cube, but I did it. Which is something, like, since I'm not planning on using it, like, I could just wait until I'm level 70 to go for the cube, especially if I try and find a bounty that's in there for when I do bounties. I'm just gonna run back this time instead of teleporting back. Basically 5 levels to go. I don't think there's any crazy good passives or anything to go for. I guess quickening generator that gives you more spirit back per punch is something I would ideally have on right now. Now. Tagging a whole bunch of enemies to try and blow this guy up. Oh, hi. Nice. Oh, I was looking at the wrong enemy. He's not that healthy, though. Oh, come on. Just kind of slowly killing these guys. Let my dashing strikes stock back up. Oh crap. No! It didn't even matter. There was like no enemies for days. I keep skipping armor racks, but those are really good if you got this belt on for throwing out extra haunts. So are corpses, actually. That dead villager on the ground, more haunts. That kind of makes a lot of sense, though, because, like, haunts coming out of a dead body. Armor racks, not so much, especially when it says chests. This is a very closely locked chest of torture tools right here. And people have chests. So maybe that's why the body works. Wow, that was spread out. Not like I would want to equip that stuff. Just trying to think, like, anything to throw at the Templar, probably not. Yeah, I think Master is the way to be right now. I was thinking, like, is my toughness good enough? Should I go back to Torment? But things just aren't dying that fast. At least, not to Sweeping Wind. If I had better multipliers, then I probably could kill things a lot faster. Including, like, if I just not cubed that Sweeping Wind belt, it'd be doing more damage. It's probably time to switch to the offensive rune of it, though. Normally I do that right when I get to it, but since Spirit was a big issue for a while, I swapped. Blade Storm, and let's go Quickening. So I just decreased my spirit per second that I'm gaining, and then at the same time, so every time I punch something, I get more spirit than I used to get. Oh, there's a wall in the way. Only finding large enemies. It's not very conducive to Exploding Palm. This Molten is just chunking me. Got him. Gonna lose the streak. Prophecy Bolt. I'll take these items. I guess that's one resplendent chest in this place, even if it's tied to a event. That thing gave more damage. Wasn't too much of a toughness loss. I think I'll take it. And we're done. I left probably a third to half of this floor, but it's split in half, so I'm not going back for them. Split in half and a ways away from the waypoint. I could just leave game, and now I've got a whole new halls. A whole new halls. With whole new thralls. Boo. There we go, there's our spear back. Rip Flourish. What a funny combination of words. Another goblin. I feel like I've gotten a lot of goblins, actually. Season... What was the one that just ended? 21? 20? They're all blending together. 20 was definitely the good season. Season 21 that just ended, I was leveling Necro on Asia on softcore. And Necro leveling is broken. It's terribly, terribly easy, especially on softcore. But I got to level upper 60s in less than an hour, and then found a rainbow goblin. And as I'm like finishing collecting like all the loot from the rainbow goblin, I was like, I could have gotten to 70 in less than an hour if I hadn't gotten this rainbow goblin. That's such a weird experience. I was lucky on that, and I got the Blood Tide Blade. So it was like best case scenario. But even there, even if all you get is the thing that you like gamble gloves, and you only have one glove that can show up if you get a legendary, you're still pretty broken good with just the corpse explosion. Oh, this will be close. 101. All right, 67 in under 2 hours. It looks like we'll be 67 as we pass the 2 hour mark. Can you imagine if Halls of Agony was just this room over and over again? Oh, that'd be so good. I would not be so sad to see it in a Great Rift. Although in a Great Rift, the zombie pit is where it's at. Nope. Dang, I'm not even 20% into this level with like 150 kills. I know the massacre bonus is gonna give me a big boost at the end, but really slows down in these upper 60s. Nice, kept the streak for a little bit longer anyway. I try and let some of my dashing strikes recharge. Got him. Yeah, we're going back. We go this way this time. Go haunts. Oh, there's nothing to haunt. Well, this time there is. I swapped belts. That's why. Rip. Racers? Oh, pretty good. I'll take more damage. No! It's hard to go back from every time you click a chest, things get haunted. So that was about 4 minutes for that level. It's probably 10 to 12 for the other two, I would hope. Can I draw these guys on to these guys? Oops. Ah, didn't even hurt him that much. That one's done. I'm gonna salvage just because the full inventory is still in my brain. Bone Slag the Berserker. It's a shame the journey just doesn't ask you to do like, well, yeah. It's a shame it doesn't just ask you to do 25 bounties rather than have a check mark by each of the acts, because you get a lot of random bounties doing things like going for the cube, killing a boss at the beginning, and sometimes the zone you farm. Going away from Bone Slag. That doesn't mean that we're going into a dead end. Unless you're just thinking like eventually everything's a dead end. Let's see what's over here. A few more things. Oh. Eventually, after almost 200 kills. Oh, man, we're getting close. Gone. All the explosions. Nope. There was no way I was going to streak that unless I dragged him towards this way. There's definitely some better DPS options for Exploding Palm. Like you could do the cold one that just does double damage on its own. Like that's pretty sweet. Or you could do the lightning one that randomly picks a second enemy nearby and they also get an Exploding Palm on them, which is pretty nice for like just trying to quickly move through and kill stuff. I tend to always gravitate towards utility though. Like the first thing I always put Paragon points in is to CDR and RCR. Like even before crits, I always dump into that CDR and attack speed, typically, depending on the build. Because I just really want things to feel more normal. So like the fact that I can spam all my skills with this particular version of the build, with the spirit coming back, exploding palms. I feel like I'd rather just keep it like this, probably. Then what? Where do we go? Oh, not here. Little group of zombies. Wow, found a lot of items. Or did I? I found both followers, but no Templar relic. Is it gonna be this run or the next one? Already like 40% of the way there, so it could be this one. But I suppose if I break my streak constantly, maybe it won't be. Or if I skip a third of the floor because of just really awkward layout. Or if I die. It could happen. Wow, there were a lot of enemies down here. Boom, got him. No! Nice. I thought I still wasn't going to make it to the next pull. Oh no! Really? So it was 78 enemies killed, less than 10% of a bar. Never gonna get to level 70 at that rate. They're all pretty low quality enemies though. No, I ate one of my dashing strikes. Oh, come on. This is like the worst run through of halls I've had all day. I don't want to fight just the thralls. I probably could kill them in a timely manner, but I don't want to fight them with no skeletons or cultists around. Illusions. Molten illusions. Let's just, yeah, run away from them. So they are nightmarish, which means they could nightmare me into the illusion or into the molten, which would be really bad, but so far it hasn't happened. Go. Thank you. Yeah, so even an explosion didn't kill the thralls in one hit. More moltens. Keep calm and punch on. Yeah, so with all those broken up kill streaks, I got less than 4 bars on that run. So the other one, I feel like I started somewhere over here, like B4 level 69, and by the time all the kill streaks and stuff were done, I had like 40% of the way to 70. This time I didn't even get 40% on the whole run through. We're 2 hours and 11 minutes, 12 minutes in. No. Kept it. I got spoiled by all those big open rooms I was getting in the last few runs. And I hit level 69 and suddenly they're all closed. Killing these guys with the multiplier is going to be pretty nice. Pretty nice. It's weird. I feel like as I got to like 67 or so specifically, my damage just feels way worse. I thought that didn't really change much after you hit 61. Just like another 75 to 100 streak should be good. This will help. No. Nice, a new necklace, just what I needed. Nope. We're so close. I'm surprised I don't have a streak currently going. There's one. That'll do it. Level 70, about 2 hours and 13 minutes in. Passive skill slot unlocked. So at this point, I would normally make sure that I have all the utility things picked that I can. Definitely those 3. Maybe fleet-footed, just because I will be doing a lot of running. And switch to normal. Go do all 5 acts of bounties. If, you know, you didn't get one done on that last run, which would be really convenient. Oh no, it wouldn't be convenient because I'd still have to drop it to normal. And then you'd be ready to advance on the season journey. Alright, till next time. Peace.